Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we have another light video for you guys. I think we only have 3 first appearances, 6 honorable mentions, so only 9 titles on all to go through, but there's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week, ending April 21st, 2023. First up from DC Comics, Flash number 797. This features the first partial team appearance of the Super Kids. This also features the first appearance of Mineral Man, the first appearance of Reverse Grodd, and the first appearance of Foul Play. Now, like we always say with DC Comics, it really depends on what DC does with these characters they're introducing into the comic books as to how important they're going to be in the future. If they bring these characters into other storylines, other story arcs, they bring these characters onto a small screen or big screen, that's definitely going to get a lot more eyes on these characters, make them more important going forward. Now, Flash, this standalone title series, is one of DC's stronger title series. This is one of their more popular, more highly collected series. So the fact that they're introducing so many characters into this particular issue, this one here may be worth picking up the spec on. Like I said, it really depends on what DC does with these characters as to how important this book's going to be, but they are introducing a lot of new characters in here. There's a lot of first appearances, and like I said, this is one of DC's stronger titles. So this one here is probably worth picking up for the cover price. Go ahead and grab this one. Next up from DC Comics, Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow number 1. This features the first cameo team appearance of the Cosmeteers. Now, like I just mentioned a moment ago, it really depends on what DC does with these characters they're introducing in the comic books as to how important they're going to be in the future. The Cosmeteers are introducing here into the Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow title series. This is definitely not one of DC's stronger title series or one of their tentpole series. So these Cosmeteers would have to be brought across more title series such as Action Comics, Superman, Detective Comics, Batman, and those really strong tentpole series that would definitely give a lot more credence or staying power to these Cosmeteers. So this one here is definitely going to be a little more speculative if you choose to pick it up. You know, for the cover price, it might be worth specking on. This still is the Superman universe, you know, the Superboy title. But once again, very speculative if you choose to pick it up. You're really just hoping that DC does something with this Cosmeteer team they're introducing. So this one here, you might have some time on this one. Keep an eye on it, but you can put it on your B-list for now. And finally, for Marvel Comics, Warlock Rebirth number 1. This features the first appearance of Eve Warlock, an enemy from Adam's past described as a next step in evolution. Now, with the Marvel Comics, we do typically recommend picking up any first appearance of new characters in these titles. You know, Marvel Disney is still churning out a ton of media, whether it's small screen or big screen, you know, TV shows, streaming series, or feature films, and you know, you really don't know where any of these characters they're introducing in the comic books are going to end up. So in our opinion, it's always worth specking on these first appearances in the comics. Like I said, you could be sitting on a winner just for a few dollars. You definitely don't want to go chase them later on for a lot more money. So for $3 or $4, this one here is probably worth picking up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. And now for the honorable mentions. From Dark Horse Comics, All 8 Eyes number 1. A college dropout floats through life until one night sweeps him into a war against a giant 8-legged horror stalking the forbidden corners of post-9/11 New York City. Now, like I always say with these small press and indie publishers, if these titles get optioned for a small screen or big screen project, that is a huge price driver for these books in the secondary market. And this one here does sound like it lends itself very well to a TV show, streaming series, or feature film, and Dark Horse Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up and optioned in the past. This one here does sound like it translates pretty well, so in our opinion, this is probably a good spec bet for the cover price. Grab this one here if you can. If you can't, though, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Scout Comics, Black Demon Tales number 1. This is an anthology of horror stories based on real Mexican fisherman lore and the ancient supernatural terror of the Black Demon. Now, once again, Scout Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up and optioned in the past for small screen and big screen projects. And this one here does sound like it lends itself very well, especially since it is based on real Mexican fishing lore. So if this one here gets picked up, it will be huge. And this is also an anthology of horror stories. You know, these have been popping up a lot more frequently lately. There is a huge collector base and huge fan base out there for these horror anthologies. So that is another thing going for this particular title. So in our opinion, once again, this is a great spec bet. Grab this one here if you can. If you can't, though, put it on your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. Next up from Archie Comics, Chilling Adventures presents The Cult of the Wilkin Boy, number 1. This is a one-shot psychological thriller about a musician who is a master of manipulation, with fans and followers willing to do his bidding no matter how evil it may be. Once again, sounds like it lends itself very well to the screen, and you know, Archie Comics has a huge track record of getting their characters on screen, so this one here, once again, is a good spec bet. This here is a one-shot, and one-shots aren't always optioned just because a lot of directors, producers don't think there's enough source material there. But, you know, there have been a lot of one-shots optioned in the past, so that's not necessarily true. So this one here, in our opinion, is also a good spec bet. Maybe a little more speculative than the others. So if you can't get them all, definitely put this one here on your B-list, but keep an eye on it. Next up from Image Comics, Terror War number 1. Humanity's last hope against terror-like creatures that transform into their victims' worst fear is an overworked, underpaid crew of freelance terror fighters. Once again, sounds like it lends itself very well to a TV show, streaming series, or feature film, and Image Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past. So this one here does sound like another great spec bet. Grab this one here if you can to spec on. If you can't though, put it in your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from DC Comics, Wonder Woman number 798. This is a debut of new Wonder Woman armor. Mary Marvel claims the name Shazam in this issue as well. Now with Marvel titles, we definitely recommend picking up the first appearance of new characters, new costumes, new suits, new superpowers. But with DC Comics, it's a little trickier. You know, DC hasn't really had a great track record of introducing these new costumes or new suits or these new superpowers that are introducing in the comics onto the big screen or small screen, which definitely gets a lot more attention on these particular characters. So once again, that is going to make this a little bit more speculative. This particular issue is also debuting the new armor for Wonder Woman. You know, we really don't know how strong or important that will be in the future. Also in this issue, Mary Marvel claims the name Shazam. Once again, we really don't know how important that is for the lore. So this one here is definitely going to be speculative if you choose to pick it up. You probably have some time on this one, so you can put this one on your B-list for now, but keep an eye on it. And finally for Marvel Comics, Amazing Spider-Man number 24. This issue features the debut of new Spider-Man armor, only temporarily though. Now with Marvel titles, we do recommend picking up any first appearance of new characters, new suits, new armors, new superpowers, and this is the debut of new Spider-Man armor. You know, Spider-Man is probably the most popular franchise that Marvel has, and the fact that they're introducing anything new into this particular title series is probably worth picking up. This is their tentpole title series for Spider-Man, so in our opinion, this is one you should probably pick up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. So there you have the 9 titles that we have for you guys this week. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.